Welcome to Investors Insights, episode number 172. Today we'll be discussing, or are we finally back to the point where corporate profits are driving the markets more than Fed policy? For our video watchers, we invite you to try listening to the same information on our podcast. Many people are discovering they like listening to it while they drive or exercise or doing other things. Links can be found to the right of this video. With that said, let's get started.
You're listening to Investors Insights with Greg Powell and the Portfolio Strategy team from Five Plan Partners.
Good morning, Mr. Booth. It's just the two of us this morning. Greg and Bobby are out, so we've got it today. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Good to see you.
We had a good discussion this morning, I feel like.
We did indeed, and we're looking forward to bringing that some this week. Going forward a little bit, we'll be looking at two things, sort of what's coming up this week, and then Trey will be doing a recap of the earnings situation that we brought to your attention on the vlog a week or so ago with all the earnings coming out, both number of companies reporting and the type. To look at this week on Tuesday, our numbers on consumer confidence come out. As you all know, very important because what the consumer does ultimately drives 70% of markets. So we'll be watching that very carefully. In addition to that, data on new home sales and durable goods. So we'll be looking at a little bit of manufacturing, a little bit of what people are doing in homes. The interesting thing is, though, the Federal Open Market Committee, or FOMC for short, which is the two-day meeting of the Fed, is occurring Tuesday and Wednesday. What Trey and I were talking about this morning is we finally got to the point where after 2 or 3 years of it, that's sort of a backstory.
Right.
Nobody's nobody's really, hanging on with bated breath and stopping the press to see what that's going to be, and that's a good thing.
It is.
That's a good thing.
Like you'd say, we're totally focusing on profits instead of policy. And last week we had a good week of earnings. We touched on it that we were looking forward to about 90 companies. So we're about 25% through the earnings season. And we're beating estimates at a rate of 68%. That's a little higher than historical average of 66. It's not, front page news, stop the press is beating, but it's good, positive beating. We've got a lot of earnings this week. And what'll be crucial is, do the positive earnings drive the markets, which will allow us to move higher and allow portfolios to increase, or will the Fed drive markets? We firmly believe that right now the Fed's kind of on the back burners, which is good. You have normal economic growth that will allow our markets to continue to rally. Over the last 2 years, I think we've seen, and we talked about this morning, every time we get some momentum, some positive economic news, fear of the Fed comes and pushes markets lower. That's bad for portfolios. So hopefully with the Fed on the sidelines, we can focus on companies making things, making money, U.S. companies, and then and markets continuing higher to new highs. So that's really hopefully we're focusing on. There's still a lot of headwinds, but at a 68% earnings beat rate, hopefully we'll be able to continue that trend. Last week, the markets were up 0.6%. That's, again, not gangbusters, but we're just steadily, methodically moving higher. And we should see portfolios move higher as well. And that's all great news.
It is. It's fun to, for a change, watch the earnings and see that have the impact on market you expect it to do historically.
Good news is good news as opposed to the good news being bad news.
Absolutely. Trey made a good point on that. The Fed this morning in and of itself is less predictable. So that's somewhat good to have that off the table for now so we can have the companies do what they need to do and drive the markets up. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this. We've enjoyed bringing it to you. If you have any questions of Trey, Greg, Bobby, or me, please feel free to call us. We love hearing from you. We love your questions. We hope you have an excellent week, and thanks so much.